And greetings everyone, Fontaine here, VIP SOUNDLAB.com, and we're back with the new Infinite Drums, the Kontakt 5 version, compatible with Mac and PC 32 and 64-bit, also compatible with any hardware or software sampler that can read 24-bit wave, and this is processed at 96 kilohertz. It has a lot of onboard effects such as reverb, delay, you got your tape saturation, you got your built-in compressor out, distortion, you have an SSL EQ, you have your stereo modeler. You know, and it's also formatted for the MPC 2.2. We did the Infinite Drums, the Wave version previously, and we formatted that for the MPC machine. A lot of people was like, "Yo, why you didn't make it for the for Kontakt 5?" So I was like, "I tell you what, man, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that because this particular plugin, I was gonna save it for something else down the road, but yeah, you know, you guys asked and you know we fulfill. So the demand for it was incredible. So we figured let's go ahead and take this plugin here and make it for the Infinite Drums. So here I am on the website, the finest drums on the planet. And this is just some of the details on the website here. All right, and here we are inside Native Instruments Machine 2.7.7. And again, I'm not trying to make a beat. I'm just trying to go over some of the features and attributes because I think it would be more important to focus on the key agenda here, which would be workflow, dope sounds out the box, and getting your productions jump started really quickly without a big learning curve. So for example, I have a third-party sample here just to go over some of the sounds inside the kit. So for example, let's go ahead and just play along with this a little bit just to demo some of the sounds inside the Infinite Drums. All right, so again, not trying to make a beat, just going over some of the sounds, like some of the kicks. You know, just going over some of the kicks. You know, real dope. Yeah, so again, just going over some of the sounds. And another thing that's really intuitive about it, you can change your kits on the fly in Kontakt 5 very quickly just by, and as you can see, I can scroll through the kits very easily. Now you notice how quickly these drum kits are actually loading up. Okay, so another way you can do it is you can click this icon here and dive into the folder and very simply navigate through the kits as I'm doing here. You know, because when it comes to Native Instruments, they charge $1,500 per serial. Now, it doesn't appear under the library icon here. Why? Because they charge a lot of money for these serials, like over $1,500 per serial. So it would be counterintuitive to charge you guys $99 to $100 for our product just to simply use something like this that looks exactly the same. I mean, when you think about, okay, like let me explain this. This sidebar is just basically shortcuts. That's all it is. You know, you have this graphic here, okay, which is cool. And you have the little NKI files here. But at the end of the day, there's no difference between that and this. It's the same thing. In other words, here, this would basically just appear there. So there's no difference between using the files in the library tab other than a graphic. You know, you have this nice GUI interface here, which I feel is very attractive when you're sitting in a studio for those long hours. All right, so let's go over to Machine. Let's look at some of the attributes inside Machine. Pre-tagged and filtered, you have your group kits here under Infinite Drums Kontakt 5 Infinite Kits. I have some of my favorites tagged here. So, you know, if you don't have Kontakt 5, you know, if you want to use the drums a different way, you can very simply just grab a kit, drag it, drop it, boom, loads up very simple and very easily. You have all your sounds here. As you can see there, again, it's as simple as dragging and dropping. Now on this, I have Kontakt 5 here, so let's go ahead and do an example for this. Let me go ahead and go under the instrument icon this time. You notice under the instrument icon, I have Infinite Drums Kontakt 5. Here goes one mode under drums again. So I would just simply take this little guy here, drop him on here. And as you see, it loads up very quickly, very easily. And the way Native Instruments has it set up, if you want to just shrink it down, make it look more like a VST, you have that option here just by clicking this little pencil icon here. And these sounds will still work the same. As long as you hit keyboard mode, you're good to go. And there's some sounds there. So, or if you want to use it more in the Kontakt window, you can do that here. Now, a basic overview of the GUI. I feel this is pretty straightforward. There's no big learning curve. It just basically, you have your attack. Okay, you have the decay, the sustain and release. As you can see over there, it's mimicking there inside the GUI inside the machine, thanks to the automation that we have here. Okay, so it makes it really easy when you want to use your machine controller. Now, keep in mind with a hardware controller, does it work with the Akai MPD? Does it work with my MIDI controller this, my MIDI controller that? Yes, it does, absolutely, because with the power of Kontakt 5, you can right click and use your Learn MIDI CC, or you can use the MIDI or host automation fields here. It's pretty much simple as dragging and dropping it with sound. For example, let me take this. Well, this one's already off. Let me grab. I'll make a quick duplicate. For example, let's say if you want to assign this, you notice how it makes that little square icon. So you just simply, let's say if I want to assign it to this bass. See how it makes that little plus icon? Plus icon appears. Boom. It says bass infinite drums kit 1. There's the parameter. So now what happens is inside your hardware controller, whatever you're using, it shows here, and it'll also show on the screen. For example, I don't have the camera on machine, but if it did, you would see this on machine. And when I turn the knob in machine under that plugin instance, I could control that knob via my hardware controller, which also is another workflow. All right, so you have your low pass filter here, the built-in delay by clicking this icon here. You go ahead and control the amount of the delay. Okay, you have that guy there. High pass, comp gain if you want to add a little extra boost to your sound, and you can bypass the EQ or use the preset EQ that we have inside. It's up to you. And again, you have the bass, the mid, the treble. You have your low mid 5 frequency here. You have your tape saturator here if you want to add a little color to your drums. The stereo mode here, as well as a distortion module here. And all these parameters can be tweaked the way that we have it set up. If you want to go under the hood, again, the beauty of Kontakt 5 again is Native Instruments evolved, which is why we make our plugins with the Native Instruments Kontakt 5, because some VST manufacturers, the support just falls off or just slacks. I feel inside Kontakt 5, being that whether 32 or 64-bit, any DAW that hosts VST or AU plugins, also being that Native Instruments always gives support for this with free updates. It's a no-brainer. When you get the free updates and the backing behind Native Instruments, this plugin always gets better with time. And for example, when it comes to Native Instruments built-in filters, their built-in effects and things of that nature, as time progresses, if they add more down the road, for me, it's simple as updating the script. I can update the script, add some different parameter variables to map these beautiful plugins that they have. And again, Native Instruments knows sound, so you can deactivate anything that we have in here. If you want to add things, if you want to tweak the custom parameters that we have in here, you can go ahead and do that also. You're not stuck, you're not limited. Of course, with the GUI that we have here, it's about workflow, making it very easy for you to access what's up under the hood in Kontakt 5 and giving you these tools, so no one gets confused or there's no popular misconception. When you buy a plugin from us, you're getting the power of Kontakt 5. There's various plugins on the market for Kontakt 5, and it's about sounds and sound quality. And we take a lot of pride in our sound quality, as we mentioned earlier in the video, because at the end of the day, no matter what plugin you buy for Kontakt 5, the tools under the hood, they're all the same. Plugin wise, all the same. EQs, all the same. Whatever it is that you buy for a Kontakt 5 plugin, it's all the same. So the sounds from VIP SOUNDLAB, our sounds bang, quiet is kept. There's a lot of producers out here who use our sounds in, on major records right now. Quiet is kept, millions of people have heard our sounds, but that's on the low. Right now, these drums are hot. These drums are recorded just under 0 dB. A lot of power, a lot of punch, but a lot of headroom, so you guys can get in there and do a little of your mixing and your little mastering to it. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I don't want to run too long. Just want to give you a basic overview of that Kontakt 5 as well as machine. I didn't go over the MPC one. However, it does have the XPN file where you can drag and drop it into the Akai Professional MPC with the 2.2 update, and be on the lookout for new updates for the Akai MPC and some beautiful treasures that are coming out with that. We're going to do some videos on that as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. It's your boy Fontaine. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.